at which point did you see it click? Or like now that you've had the experience of analyzing so many, because obviously in the PE firm, you were also probably helping watch the fund and the firm, but also analyzing the prospects or the
Yep.
people they were investing with.
Yep.
And so after having looked at so many businesses, what is like a common trend you're seeing that, like, if anyone watching this right now, which they will be, is like, what is a one observation, just a snapshot? Like, hey, I see this with a lot of DTC brands or brands that have this dependency end up
Yep.
with this deficiency or that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think a big, and I say this all the time to people, is a trend that I see, the happiest ecom CPG owners are those that have the leanest teams.
Mm.
And that's just been in the 4 years, that has never changed. When people have massive teams, they're just so stressed. And the people with the leanest teams are the ones that are just loving life and enjoying the work. The other thing I would say as well is anybody with gross margin over 70% is also having fun, usually. So if they have 70% gross margin and a massive team, they're struggling, but 70% and a lean team, it's been like those people are just like living it up.
Well, that's
Um,
fascinating.
yeah, well, it's just hard, right? Like, especially because what's happened since I started was Facebook and Google used to be pretty easy to like pull the cash machine lever, right? And and as it's gotten more and more difficult, it's those people with the higher gross margins that are really thriving, I suppose.
Yeah, because you can absorb the increasing costs, or you can stay in
Basically,
the game longer, right?
yeah. And then I would say as well, there are people that are happy at like 60% gross margin. 50 used to be okay. It's now no longer really viable. Um, but the counterpoint is if you get to a certain scale, 50, 60 can still work. And so I'm seeing that as well now as I'm working at
Because you
bigger.
can build in certain efficiencies or like,
Exactly, right? Like you can then, like, your revenue is high enough that you can have a really solid team, right?
and
As that
let's,
go ahead.
yeah, so you go ahead, please.
No, so sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, below like 30, 20, but below 20, 30 million, you can't, it's really hard to hire like rock star operating teams on supply chain and ops and marketing. And so once you get over that, you can begin to put in place really great people. And then again, the gross margin is okay because you have really solid people in the team that can manage it.
So it's like, do you look at it as like, oh, this person's a 10x performer, or do you look at it like meaning there's a couple things that I'd be wondering if I'm hearing
Mm,
this is like, is your define lean versus what size company, and then
right.
also define rock star in terms of production or
Cool.
in terms of what they
Cool.
bring. Yeah.
For sure. So lean to me is in almost all cases under 10% of revenue spent on staffing.
Okay. So
Yeah,
overall total payroll of the company, including
yeah.
executive compensation,
Maybe not including exec comp because you can just do whatever you want with that, I
that could
think.
be
But
different ways. Okay, but
yeah,
10% of payroll of
yeah,
the total goal
yeah,
set.
yeah. And I think I've seen some people do it at like 8. And they're again like very, very profitable when you're doing it at 8. And so they just make some sacrifices and they do less stuff so they don't have to hire people to manage all the other things that they're doing. So 8 was wonderful. The person I worked with that had 8. 10 I see working. 15 can work, but then you're getting into that higher level of stress and payroll and there's just more people to manage too.
Yeah. No, I mean, this
Um,
is a
yeah.
very close to home question.